Welcome to episode 6 of the Bear Ambo project. Also, the Bear Ambo has returned to Polar Mobility Research. After an extended stay at Felix Auto Body and Tyro Coating, Oso's exterior facelift is complete. Oso is back at Polar Mobility Research to continue the conversion into a mobile, off-grid tiny home. In this video, we'll tell you about some impending upgrades and we'll continue gutting the Ambo interior. So let's head off to Polar Mobility Research in Calgary, Alberta and dive right into the conversion process. Well, as you can see, we now have Oso, the Bear Ambo, back home at Polar Mobility Research, and we're going to get right back to business, tearing this thing apart and putting it back together. Because one of the things you will learn when you are doing a conversion on an ambulance is there's a lot of things that are worth keeping, like all the shelves and all that. But another thing you'll learn is there is an awful lot of waste space that's hidden away behind the panels, and that space that can be much better used. And another thing you'll learn is some of the bits and pieces and parts that you have to tear off can be repurposed and reused. And that's what we are going to be doing today. So let's go inside the ambulance and I'll show you what I mean. So inside the ambulance, this space here, right in front of the back doors and in between those two pretty much permanent cabinets, is where the bed's going to go. And the bed is going to be a slide out, but the base for it is going to be about 39 inches from front to back. And under that bed will be drawers for the Dometic 95-liter cooler and the Nature's Head composting toilet. What that means is that these two lower doors are redundant because behind there has some shelving, and we plan to put a diesel tank and the diesel hydronic heater. So we want to seal it off completely so no fumes or anything can get into the sleeping compartment. So these doors are going to be taken out and replaced with just a solid aluminum plate. But they're good quality doors. There's some things that are just so good you don't want to throw them away. What to do with them? Well, if a fellow was to take off that headrest and that backrest, there would be a space that would be the perfect home for those doors. But there's a problem. But let's go and look behind that wall and I'll show you what the problem is. This compartment here would be a perfect pantry, great place to store dry goods and food. I even thought that this lower part, once we took these two little oxygen bottle holders, would be a perfect home for my Bouge RV 30-quart refrigerator. But the problem is this part here on the left-hand side. If it's in there, those doors that I want to put in on the other side of the wall wouldn't work. So this has all got to go. It's all got to be taken out. Now this part down here at the bottom, this drawer, that's where the house batteries are going to go. So what we're concerned with is all this space here. We have to make it usable. We have to make it accessible. So the first thing we're going to do is take it out, save what we can, discard what we can't use, and rebuild this section. Jeff Schmode, the Big Bear at Polar Mobility Research, assisted by lead hand Ariel, are removing cabinets from Oso's interior. These cabinets will be repurposed and reused during the reconstruction of Oso's cave. The next step in the process was to remove all the emergency system wiring from Oso's interior. It was a tedious process to trace and remove all of the unnecessary wiring and emergency circuitry. Also, the Bear Ambo has lost a lot of weight. Cabinets have been put aside for future reuse, and all unnecessary wiring has been removed. In the next video, we put aside work on the tiny home and address some off-grid travel considerations. We'll be upgrading the wheels, suspension, and drivetrain. We'll also be adding some essential off-road recovery gear. Join us for the next video in this series as Oso gets ready for potential off-road adventure.